So good morning, guys. So guys, if you know me or if you know anything about me, if you watched any of my videos, what I'm trying to say, or saw any of my pictures on Facebook, you know that I am a DIY person, do-it-yourself person. So what happened is a couple of months ago, it might even been a year ago, I had a terrible backup in my pit. Now, if you don't know what a pit is the hole in your basement that they put in your basement where your pipes are at. If you have a backup and you need for Roto-Rooter, who don't go to Roto-Rooter, because Roto-Rooter is expensive, they got the $49.99. If you have a back in your basement and you have to call Roto-Rooter or the $49.99 people, they'll come, and that's where they go to get to your pipes. So what I did was I sucked up all that mess myself, and in the midst of doing that, I sucked up all my rocks, because when they dig the pit, they fill it up with rocks. I just found out today, because now my basement has a terrible basement smell, and it's affecting my apartment that I have down there. So when I went on YouTube to see how do I fix it, I realized that what I did was I sucked up all my rocks. And that's what they do when they dig a hole, because a lot of people don't know, which I didn't know, that water seeps up out of the ground. So if you have a pit, water seeps up out of the ground. So what they do is they fill it up with rocks. So I just left Home Depot buying some rock. I don't know, it said River Pebbles, so I got those. I have 4 bags. Thank God, I didn't know how I was going to get them in the car, but just so happened a very handsome gentleman from Home Depot came out. He helped me get them in the car. How I'm going to get them in the house, I do not know. So when I leave here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my house, my basement, open up my pit, fill it up with rocks, and follow the instructions of what I learned on YouTube. So I will be back. Now, these are my basement steps. These are the rocks. A gentleman helped me get them in the car. A nice, handsome man was walking, that worked for Home Depot, happened to be walking down the parking lot. He helped me get them in the car. So now what I have to do is I have to get them down these steps. Here's my trap. This is a trap, but it's called a pit. Inside is called a pit. I had to learn all this. 2 things about me. 1, I have no time to be a damsel in distress. And 2, I love learning. I love being able to do what needs to be done. So this is my pit. This is called a pit. And what happened when I opened this door right here, it was wet, and it was never like that before. But when I was cleaning out my pit, when I had my backup, when I was cleaning out my pit, I took a lot of my rocks out. But I'm looking and I'm noticing and I'm seeing that I really think I bought too many bags, because I bought 4 bags. So I'll take back. I don't understand why this is wet, because it was never wet before. So I'm going to roll the rocks down the steps, because it's not necessary for me to carry the rocks down the steps. I'm going to roll the rocks down the steps. And we'll be back. This is the inside of my pit. Now, all that white you see is baking soda, because when you go to YouTube and you ask YouTube how to clean anything, especially anything that got to do with mold, sofa, smell, they tell you to use baking soda and vinegar. When I first tried to clean it up, I was told to use baking soda and ammonia, which makes sense to me. But now that I'm going on YouTube, they stressing to use vinegar. So I did buy too many bags of rocks. I bought 4 bags of rocks. I thought it was much deeper. But I don't need 4 bags of rocks. So what I did was I put the vinegar, the baking soda down there the other day. I have a very sensitive nose, so to me the smell is very bad, but I think it helped a little bit. I think what I really need to work on now is just getting the smell out of the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour maybe 2 bags of rocks down here. And what happened, the covers that's covering my trap, covering my pipes, the covers are really too small. So when I had my bad backup, this one right here that leads my toilet, my shower, the one right here on the left to the sewer, the top came off. So instead of it backing up in my house, which now I don't even know if that was a blessing, because I didn't know, and I didn't know how long it was going on, it backed up in this is called a pit. It backed up in the pit. I happened to be sitting down here, which I don't do often, and I smelled it. So the smell was just too strong, and when I opened it up, it was full of, you name it, it was in here. So this is why I'm struggling with, because what I did was a gentleman from a plumber came to snake it out one time, and he told me, he said, "Miss, all you have to do is really buy some plumber's gloves. And you can really dig that stuff out yourself sometimes." Now, I know the average person don't want to do that themselves, especially a woman, but I do it. And I enjoy doing it. It's nasty, but I do it. I always wanted to work with my hands. But anyway, so this one right here on the left, the cap had came off. So this was full of tissue, wipes. Everything that you tell you people don't flush down your toilet was in here. Tissue, wipes, feces, it was in there. And yes, I took my vac and my gloves, which I had the wrong gloves, because when I went to Home Depot had gardening gloves. So they don't even come up too far. But I had to do what I had to do because the guy wanted to come the next day, and I needed my plumbing to be working that night. So I did what I had to do, and I did what I had to do, and I dug it out. I worked for hours cleaning out this pit. By the time the plumber came, he said, "Miss, you already took care of the job yourself." So I did what I had to do. But now I'm having smell problems. So I'm working on that now. I bought the rocks. I already see that I could take back 2 bags of rocks. Or maybe I'll use them all. Who knows? And I know I can't cover up my pipes. And I'll use my baking soda, and I bought some vinegar today I'm gonna put down there in my baking soda, and hopefully it'll work. Then I have to work on trying to get the smell out of my basement, because my basement is an apartment. My basement is a beautiful apartment, and you know, it's sad. You know, it's sad of what happened, but get back to you. Alrighty. So I did use all the rocks. I used all 4 bags. Now that I'm down deep, this is the cap. That shouldn't come off so easily. That should have been screwed on. And that's what caused the problem, which it would have backed up in my house. Now, I do want to say that if it had backed up in my house, I would have known what was going on. So the fact that it backed up in the pit, I now have this smell. So I have to make sure, I have to get a new cap. So I have to take that cap off and look and see what size I need. And then I'm going to order it from, I don't really want to order it from Home Depot, because if I order the wrong size, not Home Depot, from Amazon, if I order the wrong size, then I got to send it back or keep it. And I don't want to be keeping stuff that's not right. So I think I'm going to go back to Home Depot, and I'm going to see if I can get the right size to fit in there. But in the meantime, now that I'm down here, I'm going to get my gloves and make sure my sewage is all right. See the water down there? That water should be flowing. Now there's some stuff around, so I'm going to get my gloves and I'm going to clean that with my gloves. Make sure my water is flowing, because that's the only way that I can keep my backup. They said that my pipe was made with an elbow, and that's no good as well because stuff get trapped in the elbow. But all right, I'll be back. So I dropped my camera remote. I don't know how to operate it anyway, but I really need it right now. But I dropped it. I don't have it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to... These are my gloves, but these are gardener gloves. These are not the proper gloves because the gloves you need should be all the way up here. So I'm going to order those from Amazon. So I'm taking the cap off. This is the cap. I got to see what size this is. I need a bigger one. Taking the cap off, and I'm going to dig in there to make sure that my water is flowing. See the hole? I'm going to dig in the hole to make sure that the water is flowing. And I see some stuff around it, so that's not safe. So I'm going to dig in there. This stuff is, this is grease, soap. So it looked like I already got a problem that might be starting already. So I'm digging in here. Look at all this. This is grease. This is soap. Especially grease. Grease is a terrible, terrible thing. Terrible. No matter what you do, you get a buildup. You get a buildup. So hopefully it's flowing. It is because it's moving. I'm going to smell sewage. These gloves are not long enough, so I don't want to do too much digging because these are not, gloves are not long enough, but I can see that it's flowing. I can see that it's moving. I got a snake, but I don't have a snake. So I'm going to go get my hand snake. And I'm going to snake it a little bit. This is disgusting, nasty. Yeah, see how I got on my arm, but look at all that. What am I going to do? I got to do what I got to do. I have to do what I have to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the top back on with these gloves. Put the top back on. And I'm going to go wash myself thoroughly. Here's my baking soda. Bought this from Family Dollar today. Chestnut Hill, that's their brand. And then I have my vinegar here. And I'm going to throw my baking soda in there and my vinegar in there. And prayerfully it'll work out. I can't find my snake, so I can't snake right now, but it's moving, it's not clogged up, but I'm going to come back down here and snake. But what I am going to do is I'm going to throw my baking soda down here, all down here. See, on YouTube, the person pit wasn't, see, they cemented, see, they bricked my pit. See the brick wall? So water comes up through the dirt. So that the rocks help the water to keep the water from coming up. Because what they did was they showed an actual pit, blank pit full of water. And they filled it up with rocks. They treated the dirt, which I thought I had to do. But now that I'm looking at my pit is, or they bricked my pit in. See, the city did my house. I bought my house in the first time homeowner, so they did a lot of stuff that you normally don't see in people's houses. So mine is already bricked, thank God. So now I'm going to drop baking soda again. I'll put this whole box, and I'm going to pray that it helps with the smell. It stopped the smell from coming through. I'm trying to get some on the bricks Because the bricks was also, they say sulfur. Sulfur, that's the fumes. Sulfur fumes. And now I just have to work on getting the smell out of the house. I can't find my snake, because I'm gonna snake that myself. I'm gonna snake it. I can snake it myself because I watch what they do and they teach me and what to do. So I'm gonna snake it myself. But anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned. I know that this is not for everybody. If you have money, you pay people to do what you need them to do. If I had to pay somebody, I would pay somebody. But I think that I should try to do it myself. Then you pay. If you can't do it yourself, then you pay. So, I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching. Share my video. So I'm all done, guys. Put my baking soda down there. So now I have to work on getting the smell out of the basement. So they said take vinegar and put it around. They said take vinegar and baking soda and just put it around. And it's supposed to activate or do whatever. But I'm finishing. I'm not a plumber. I'm not trying to show or teach nobody how to do things. I'm just showing you my DIY. That's all I'm trying to show you. My do it yourself, because it's very rewarding to me to do these things. I know it's not for everybody, and I'm not asking nobody else to do it. It's very rewarding for me. So now I'm on my other job. Well, my apron, now I'm cooking. So have a nice day, and thank you for watching my video. And please, please share and please subscribe. Have a nice day.